Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I've got a really exciting one. I'm going to be doing half a set because I've already done this hand. This is what these look like. But I'm going to be doing the other hand of these extensions from mail order, as you can see here. So I'm using the coffin, the medium coffin ones, and they're pre-etched as well. This is what they look like in the box. I did buy 3 different shapes and lengths, but these are closest to what I like, so I am cutting them down because they are too long for me. But I didn't want to get the short ones because I'd rather get longer ones and cut them down than get ones that are too short for anybody. So all I've done is just picked out the tips that fit me the best. So I've got the ones that go from side wall to side wall, there's no gap either side, and I've also just very gently filed around the cuticle area to make it match my natural nail shape, basically, because it's not very often that they're naturally going to be the exact shape of your nail. So as you can see, I've just shaped them a little bit too. I could probably do with rounding that one off a little bit more, to be fair, but I'm just taking my file and just very gently going around that cuticle area to, just round it off a little bit more, because obviously everyone's cuticle area is going to be a different shape. Mine are more rounded, whereas the tips are quite square. So I just lined them all up, but then all I did to prep the tip was, as you can see on the tip, it's a bit rough around the edges. That's because I've literally just got my file and done this around the edge of every single nail, just to thin out the cuticle area a little bit, just because I have reshaped them, so I have sort of gone into a different thickness of the tips now because of that. Sorry, obviously didn't do a very good job of this the first time round. So basically, yeah, I've just got the tips ready. So we're going to be using these, and I'm going to show you the different steps to doing them, basically. Just making sure that they all do fit and I've not just gone blind. So all you need after that is, for the ones that are already pre-etched, you don't need obviously X-etch, but if they weren't pre-etched, like the what are they called, I think they're the medium square that I got aren't pre-etched, so I'd have to use that. So you'd literally just get this and just put a load of pressure on the inside of the tip and just keep like smashing it on, sort of thing. Mashing, I think nail order themselves call it. And then I'm going to be using these 2 products here. So my natural nails are prepped. So the main thing to get right, really, so I'm just going to go over with X Prime, and I'm going to put that on all 5 of my nails, basically. It is a non-acid primer, this one. So the main thing I found, like just from using full coverage tips in the past from different brands, and also from doing my right hand with these ones, is the main thing you've got to sort of perfect is getting the right amount of gel on your tip. I think it was my thumb on the right hand where I didn't put enough, so once I'd put pressure on, the gel only spread like probably about halfway up my nail, maybe 2/3 of my nail, so I had to like release it, put more gel on the tip, and then reapply. And it wasn't an issue, didn't make a mess or anything. It actually worked really well, even having to take it off and put it back on, but so it was fine. But that's just one thing I think is the main thing that you need to like perfect over time, is just getting used to how much you need. So I've got this next to me. This is what it looks like, and it's a huge stand. It stands quite high, which is really perfect. So it's going to be a bit difficult. I think I'm going to have to change my angle. So I'm trying to get it so you'll be able to see me put my thumb, or whatever nail it is, underneath the light. So it's going to be a weird coloured video, I'm afraid, but I can't think of any other way to do it other than have this at an angle. And there's only so many angles I can put it with the holder that I've got, so I'm just trying to do it so it makes as much sense as possible, and so you can see. So I've got this standing next to me, basically. I've just lifted it up, so now you can't really see it, can you? But you're just gonna have to trust me that it's there. You can see the blue light anyway. That's directly below the light of the, what's it called? What is it called? Oh my god. The light of the lamp is what I'm trying to say. So now I'm applying my tips. I'm just making sure that there is no dust or anything on the tip that I'm about to use, because obviously we don't want that to be in the way. So I've got my X gel next to me. I'm keeping it a bit I need to get away from the lamp. This is not really the best setup because I need to keep my gel away from the lamp, but I need the lamp to be close enough for you to see it. So it's a work in progress with this sort of application video. So we're just going to get the X gel. I'm going to apply that from side wall to side wall of the nail. And then I'm just going to apply a bead at the cuticle area. Don't know whether I've got enough or not, so we're just going to have to hope for the best sort of thing at the moment. I will move my actual light in a second so it's brighter. But no, I need to do it now because you really can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. So we're going to apply this at the cuticle area. And we're going to put pressure on until that gel underneath meets the end of my nail. There we go, so that's got to the free edge now. So I'm still putting pressure on. I'm going to place this under the light, under the UV light this time. Or LED, I don't actually know which one it is to be honest. I'm assuming it was UV because it was so blue, but LEDs can be blue as well, can't they? So I'm not sure. But I'm just putting pressure on that, giving it a few seconds under the light. And then this is what that nail looks like. We've got a little tiny bit of seepage down here, but nothing extreme. That will come off with filing. I think the other thing to perfect as well is getting the nails straight. This handle's a bit of a nightmare, I'm not going to lie, but I'm cutting them down quite a lot anyway, so I can sort of fix that in that process. It's not the end of the world. I need to get this my actual light placed better so it's a bit brighter. You to see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's perfect. So I'm going in with the next one now, my index finger. Again, just dusting it off to make sure it's nice and clean, and then we're going to go in with the X gel again and keeping the bottle over the other side because I don't want it to end up under the lamp and all cure. I think that might be a bit much, so I'll take a bit off. So I've just applied that. I'm going to flip it over and just grab it with this hand. Now, this is what I mean about getting them wonky. It's so easy to get it wonky, so I'm going to try this time not to. But again, just pushing it down until it reaches the free edge and then going under the lamp again. And I'm just moving my fingers down it just to make sure that the free edge gets some light. And then that's that. That's what that one looks like. Next up, it's the middle nail. So I've just cleaned that with my manicure brush again, just to make sure there's no dust in it or anything. And I'm just popping some gel on the nail again. Putting a little bead at the bottom. And then again, I'm going to try and get it straight. So I'm just going to place. I'm trying to get the light in a better place, but it's really not possible because my phone is in the way. But I'm going to place my nail. I'm trying to get my hand as straight as possible. Place my nail at the base of the nail and then put pressure on it until it reaches the free edge. Got some seepage again. Just going to quickly get rid of that. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going in with the ring finger again, just dusting it off to get off any excess. Make sure it fits. Perfect. Put my gel on again. I think obviously the longer you do any service, the easier every aspect of it gets. So in terms of putting on the right amount of gel and things, that will obviously come with time, and you'll just recognise more how much you need per nail when you do it more often. Getting this off while it's still like rubbery if I can, or at least just like pulling it away from my skin basically if I do get any excess. I'm just giving that a few more seconds under there. This is what we look like so far. Super quick. And then last but not least, it's the pinky nail. And what I do love about this system is that the X gel doesn't require a base coat. So I really love that you can just go ahead and apply this straight away without that extra layer, because it's all time at the end of the day. So just save time not doing that base. And then again, just gonna do it at the very bottom. Put pressure on until it reaches the free edge. And then place it under the light. This one's more difficult. I think it's probably because the nail is smaller. I'm struggling to grip it as easy, but it's fine. Still managed to get it on. And then once they're all on, which they are now, this is what they look like at the moment. We've not got too much seepage, to be fair. We've got ever such a small amount here. Well, to be fair, it's not that much of a small amount, but it's not attached to my skin, so that is good. We've managed to pull the skin away from it, so it'll be easy to file. We've got a tiny, tiny bit here, and then this bit here, and that's actually all we've got. And that tiny bit on the thumb. But as long as you can pull your skin away from it before you start filing, which I can, that'll make it a lot easier to get rid of. So this is what they look like at the moment. I'm going to put them into my big LED lamp now for a full cure, and then we can get to cutting them down and everything. So they've been in the lamp for a full cure now, and I just want to show you the length of them. So these are the medium coffin. They are a beautiful, beautiful length, and honestly, if I was going on holiday or something, these are definitely the length I'd have. They are stunning. But I'm not used to having long nails anymore. I've been having my natural nails for, well, I've had my natural nails like for the last God knows how long, and I'm just so used to how short they've been. So nails like this are just not helpful for me, basically. So I'm just going to have a look at my other hand before I get going snipping it away at them, because obviously I want them to be as similar as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut a bit off, but not too much. So they're super easy to cut, and that is why I love these. With the full-on tips from Magpie, they're not made of gel, they're made of ABS plastic. So when you cut them this way, they go white, which is not ideal. And obviously, as you can see, these don't. These are made from gel, so are brilliant, and obviously don't have that problem. So it's ideal, really. I'm just cutting a bit more off. Now I'm actually lining them up and seeing how I need them to be. Sorry, I just had to use my chin to push that down because my right hand is clearly not working today in terms of strength. My phone's not working in terms of focus as usual. Okay, so when I've got them more about to where the length I want them, I need them just a little bit longer so I can file. We're just going to get going with filing, so I'm just going to move my phone up and just zoom in a bit so it's easier. I'm just going to go straight down like this like so, and then once I've got it to about where I want it, I can use it normally. And then I'm just going to take in the sides a little bit, because obviously these are a medium coffin. They're like the shape of them is made to be that length basically, so I'm just tapering them in a little bit more now because I've took the length down. They do have short versions of their tips, but like I said, so much easier to make longer ones shorter. Well, it's not easier, it's just actually possible. Making them longer isn't. So it's easier to have the longer ones and cut them down if you need to than get shorter ones and longer ones, especially when you're just testing out a brand first, like I am. So that's my thumb done, and then I'm just going to go ahead and file and shape the other one. So I'll just do that quickly sped up. Okay, so I've done that step. Then all I'm going to do now is just go over the surface of the nail to rough them up a bit. I'm just blending the cuticle area very gently, because obviously I did already file that cuticle area before applying the before applying the extensions. And I'm just going over with my file over the rest of the nail to just make sure that there's no, I'm not actually filing to shape or anything like that, like not changing the structure of the nail in the slightest. I've got a really light pressure on the file, so I'm not making any changes to the nail other than I literally just need it to be rough and get rid of the shiny bits basically. So I'm just going over and doing that very, very gently, no pressure on the hand file at all. I'm just going over every area until all of it is matte basically, not shiny anymore. That's all I'm doing. Obviously any areas where I did get a bit of gel around the outside of the nail, I am removing that in this process as well. I'll show you properly when it gets to the ring finger, because I think that was the one with the more obvious bit. So every now and then I'm just going to remove the dust so I can really see if there's any shiny bits left. You can see the nail better when there's no dust on it. Checking from all angles for my shaping as well, because sometimes in this angle it can look perfect and then you'll switch it up and look at it from the other perspective and it looks totally different. It's a nightmare. So you want to make sure that you look at it from all angles. Again, very gentle around the cuticle area that is already filed. I like filing them before you apply them because it's just one less job, and I just find they fit much more flush to the nail as well when that bit is filed and they're a bit thinner down there. Only gently file it though, you don't want to make them too thin where they're actually like really weak and flexible. So with this one, the one where I've got some overhanging gel, I'm just going to pull the skin away from it and I'm going to just go around with my file very gently. If it was a really big gloopy bit that was like sticking out like a little bead, I'd just use my, what's it called, I can't remember what I'm trying to say. I'd just use my cuticle nippers, but I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to get the shine off these two as well, now that it's getting boring. And then we can carry on. Now, this is what they look like when I've removed all of the shine, basically. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a really quick design for this set. Basically just because obviously the video is going to be long enough from application and everything. But seriously, just... I've butchered myself a little bit here. I mean, it looks like it's bleeding, but it's not. I think it might be now. I've just rushed it. It wasn't, but never mind. So yeah, that's what they look like at the moment. I'm just going to quickly clean them up with some isopropyl alcohol. So I'm just spraying that on a manicure brush and then just going over my nails like so. And then I'm going to wait for those to dry because obviously isopropyl alcohol doesn't take long to dry at all, but it's nice and nice and clean now. I'm ready for the next step. I'm just getting all the excess bits out from underneath, which you can use a e-file for, or your hand file. Just pull up the bits with your hand file like I have on this one there, and then just file off like, oh god, like so. So once these are dry, like I said, I'm going to put a top coat on. I'm then going to wipe the tacky layer off and put a coat of peel off base on. And then all we're going to do is do the same design that's on my right hand, just for a very short moment I can have matching nails. It doesn't happen very often, so I thought why not. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for these to dry. Like I said, I'll do the peel off base and everything, and I'll come back for us to do this really super quick, easy design. Okay, just to save time, I've applied 3 coats to my peel off base coat of this blue sky colour. It is Lap Dance ND12 and this is the colour of it. It is beautiful, but like I said, I did need 3 coats and it's still not completely opaque, so it is more of like a Like, it's not supposed to be opaque basically, so you can't really complain. So I'm going in now with Snow Angel from Gel Perfection, and I'm just going to put a blob of it on the very tip of every nail. I don't want too much, but I want enough to be able to spread it around. So just putting on how much I think I'll need. And I am going to fade this down the nail, so that's why I'm putting it on thick. I'm not going to leave it like this, because obviously it wouldn't cure. But this is such a beautiful gel colour. I need some more like this really, that are like clear gel with glitter in, because I find they're the best for this sort of design, like glitter fades and stuff. I think it's when it's got gel colour in a glitter, that's when it gets a bit more tricky to blend out, because it's the colour itself that's difficult to blend, whereas obviously glitter is pretty easy to blend out, because it's just pieces of something that you can manipulate and move to where you want them. But anyway, this is what it looks like. I'm going to get my Blend It brush from my Erin's collection. Just going to zoom out. I'll move my phone out of the way and then zoom in a bit more, because I don't want to keep getting it in the way. I'm just going to clean it off, because there's still a few bits of glitter in from the other hand. And then I'm just going to go from side to side and just pull it down basically and spread that glitter out, making sure there's still some at the free edge. It's super easy design, but looks really effective. Just going to spread that out a little bit more. There we go. And then again, pull it down, making sure there's still some at the cuticle area. And then moving on to my pinky, which I've put way too much on, so I'm going to just transfer a bit of that to my ring finger where I need a bit more. I'm just moving it around to get it where I want it. And then once I'm happy, I can pop it in the lamp. So I'm going to put that straight in the lamp now. Now it's all moved around. This is what they look like. Super simple design, but looks really effective. So we're going to pop that into the lamp now for a full cure, and once it comes out, all I need to do, as you can see from this hand, is just pop some snowflakes on. So I'm going to be using my white Moyu, why is my phone being so annoying today? My white Moyu stamping polish, and then I'm just going to get a bit of a napkin, just so I don't make too much of a mess with the stamping. And I've got my scraper. My stamper is over here. I used this one, which was originally from Nail Decals by Design. And then the plate I used was this one here, which is XYJ228, which is again probably just a cheap one from Amazon or something like that, or Shein or something. And I'm going to use these two here for the thumb, and then these two here for the other fingers. I'm going to use both of them on the ring finger, and then just one each on the other nails. So first things first, I'm just rolling my stamper over my lint roller to make sure it's nice and clean, even though this is the non-stickiest lint roller I've ever had. It's really pointless, but I'm not buying a new one until I've run out of those. So I'm now just going to go in and clean my plate with a cotton pad and some acetone. It's going straight over the plate. I'm just going to move it so it's slightly in shot, but not in the way of my light, so it doesn't mess it up. I'm just going to give my polish a shake, and then I'm going to pop this over the images, use my scraper at a 45-degree angle, and then pick up the images, and then I'm just going to use my stamper to get rid of anything that we don't want. And then I've just remembered I'm not even doing the thumb in this video, but never mind. That's what I would have put on the thumb if I was actually doing it. And I'm just going to pop that on there. So it's like my other hand, wrong way round, but it's fine. I'm taking it off straight away anyway, so it's really not an issue. And then I'm going to go in with the same two again, but this time I'm going to split them up. So basically I'm going to scrape off, pick it up again, take off the excess. And then I'm going to use just one of them on this nail. And then the other one on this nail. And then I'm going to get the other one, another one, to go on the pinky. So I've just put the polish on the one this time, saves me having to take off, oh god, more excess. I've just accidentally stamped it onto here. So we're going to do that again and not drop the stamper this time. So actually I'm going to go over this top one now instead, just because I'm lazy. I'm going to take off the excess polish. I'm going to get off the two that we don't want and then go straight in with this on my pinky, like so. So they're very Christmassy, but not too Christmassy. But, you know, like they still, I mean, to be fair, I always say like Christmassy, but I don't think snowflakes are Christmassy. I really class them more of like winter. So that, I think that's why I like them. Oh my gosh. Really didn't want to focus. But yeah, I don't really do Christmas nails on myself as such. I'm not really a massive fan of them, but I can cope with this sort of level of Christmas, so that's good. I was just taking a thumbnail then, by the way, which is why I always like lingering on that pose for so long. I was taking a thumbnail with my nose by clicking the button. Just going to get this dust off here that was obviously on my stamper. Anything that I don't want, I'm just removing straight away before I top coat. A little hair on the end of this one. And then when I'm ready, I'm just going to top coat them and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. Okay, so I've top coated them. This is what they look like. Super pleased with how they turned out, obviously, because I knew I liked them because I've got them on the other hand. But in terms of the nail order extensions system, I absolutely love it. I mean, look how neat they look and how little effort it was. Like, this hand on my right literally took, like, I think it was about 40 minutes from start to finish. Like, start from, like, picking out what tips I needed to finish, as in putting the top coat on after the design as well. Which is just ridiculous considering it's my opposite hand as well. So it's so much harder for me to do, basically. So it's so, like, just, I don't know, it's just amazing that it really doesn't take that long and they look so perfect. So anyway, it's come a time where obviously I have to remove this design because tomorrow I've basically got almost a whole day of filming. The first half of my day is filming and then the second half is clients. So I need to get this design off to be able to film some tomorrow. And I want to get as many filmed as possible over the next few days before my nails have a chance to grow out, because I do for Christmas want to have nails that match. It would be really nice. So I'm hoping that I can get like as many videos as I need to film as possible for over December. And then I can basically enjoy having two hands the same when I've got enough videos filmed, sort of thing. So yeah, that's the ultimate goal, is to have two hands the same for Christmas, but we'll see. So I'm just taking this one off now. I don't know what's going on the end here. There we go. On that corner, that's come off now. Well, this is going really well. Definitely need to stop saying that too soon. Should start saying it at the very end, not when I've still got a nail left to take off. Perfect. How easy was that? That went great. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I do really appreciate it. I've got a lot of videos already lined up for the rest of this year. I think so far I'm up to... what am I up to? I think I'm up to like the 6th of December so far, which probably doesn't sound that far ahead depending on when this video goes up, but today's date is the 27th of November, so actually it's not that far ahead. But After tomorrow it'll be obviously a lot, I'll have a lot more filmed. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the nail order extensions if you've tried them, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.